You are watching Garivision Indigenous Network.
Lights, camera, rolling, camo.
This is Garivision Indigenous Network, where the Garifuna culture thrives. From beautiful Piney by the Sea to Barranco, Georgetown, St. Mike, Hopkins, and the culture capital, Dangriga.
This is Garivision Indigenous Network. Garifuna Suwada. Well, Biti Guyon, Hong Sung Wanigo. Good evening to all our followers, to all our viewers, to all our friends. It's always a pleasure being here on the Garivision Indigenous Network, thought-provoking conversation to speak about issues that are affecting Garifuna in the Garifuna communities. I would like to say thanks to Maurice Herrera for allowing me, for giving me the opportunity to have a conversation with him about him, about Maurice and who he is and what he's trying to accomplish in Dangriga, what he's accomplishing in Dangriga. So it's always a pleasure talking with like-minded people, and I know that Maurice is trying to accomplish certain things in Dangriga, and you know what? And we have to be allies, right? Not because you don't agree with me or I don't agree with you. We can't sit down and talk like men. So we have to be allies, man. And the time is now that we, as Garifuna men, the time is that for us to come together and unify, man. Because you know what? I believe that the powers to be, they hate to see when black people are united. So if all of us, if Garifuna Nation, Dyfa, Garivision, Indigenous Network, if we all unite, you know what, we become stronger. So it's time that we become strong. It's time that we regain our strength. You know, I'm reading this book. I'm reading this book, The Resilient Mind by Charles Castillo, and I'm going to chapter 10. And the book talks about shedding your old skin. You know, it's like a snake. When you shed your old skin, you become new. And when you become new, it might be painful at first, but when you become new, man, listen, you find your purpose. You are more focused. You find your purpose, and you become alive. You're not just living anymore. You are alive. So for each and every one of you, this book is available on Amazon. Man, this is a great book, and it's written by a Garifuna author, Dr. Sonny Charles Castillo. So please get this book. Please get this book and put this book in your library. It's a great read. Okay, so now we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back and we will speak with Maurice Herrera and Denzel Amadalino. So let's take this quick commercial break, and we'll be right back on Garivision Indigenous Network. Welcome back, welcome back. We are glad that you guys can join us. It's going to be a very great show. We have Maurice Herrera and Brother Amadi. Brother Amadi, you want to introduce Maurice Herrera?
Definitely, Dyfa. So, good evening to everyone again. Good evening for all the viewers on the Garifuna Indigenous Network. We're Culture Meet Conversation from Maurice Herrera. Thanks again, man, for being here, being available. You know, I'm also, I guess, everybody almost know you already from the Dyfa radio station. I got the background label, and you're also my neighbor, fellow brother as a Garifuna. You know what I mean? And again, I just want since we're here on social media, I have to make the know and the viewers know this is something that I find wonderful, Maurice. But I think that this is what that could make other people jealous when they see we can get along, like you said. You talked about you and Charlie Mara about rather than negative on the social media, we have something more brotherly love, more something more where people can see and feel that we have that unity and that genuine love for each other, right? And again, and that's where all my efforts come from genuine concern and love for myself and my people and my culture, right? So again, Dyfa, you could again, if you want to, again, introduce yourself to our viewers. They know you already, but go ahead, man, and big yourself up.
Yeah, thanks. I want to say good evening, right, wherever you guys might be. We're also live here at Dyfa radio station. We're sharing with simulcasting. It's called a simulcast where we have it on all our platforms and also on the radio right now. So the radio listeners are listening to this program as we speak. Yeah, I'm someone who really don't like to talk about myself. I think a lot and I act right when I think, you know. So once what I'm doing is what my mind and my heart leads me to do. So not much about me, but about the plight of our people. Being conscious of what's going on in our communities and the little that we all can do to enhance our community and to really focus on what the people want and what the people are needing. So it's about that Garifuna door that we speak about all the time. But living Garifuna door is contrary to what is happening, and that's why we have a lot in common on what we want to do collectively as a people. So it's I'm just Maurice Herrera.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
I know you said you don't like to talk about yourself, but I know a lot of people don't know who, including myself. When I met you in LA in 2016, I didn't know much about you. I didn't know who you were. So, do you mind just saying a little bit where you were born, where you grew up? I know you were in the military in the United States, and what made you come back to Dangriga?
Yeah, okay, sure. And you're right. Most people don't know about. They see me, but they don't know about me. So I'll share that. This is exclusive. But yeah, I was born in the United States. As a matter of fact, I was born in Chicago, Illinois, and my parents migrated back to Belize because my mom never liked the States. Just like me, I never liked the States. So that was a perfect decision. That was a perfect decision that my mom made. I grew up here. I was here since I moved to Hopkins where my parents were living. My dad is from Hopkins. So I started school in Hopkins. From there, I came to Dangriga. So I'm a Hopkins Knight as well at 5 years old. So I spent 2 years in Hopkins. But I remember Hopkins quite a lot because that's where I started school. I have a lot of friends in Hopkins, and I went to Sacred Heart Primary School. And then I moved on to Dangriga High School at the time. And I did college in Central Farm. So I was studying agronomy. And I finished my studies in agricultural studies. I get my associate degree in applied agricultural science and technology at the time. So that's my first love is farming. So when it comes to farming, I have a lot of knowledge that that I kept in, because I learned from school and I just applied it. What I'm doing now. I migrated. I played football at a very high level of football. I played for the Belize national U19 and U23 selection. So I was in the top player in the entire country in Belize. I got a scholarship, a partial scholarship for Loyola Marymount University. I got one in Oregon. I also got one in UCLA. So I got 3 scholarships, but they were partial scholarship. When I went to visit these campuses, I had to work financially. I already, I used to getting treated well when I play true football. I get treated well. I can't complain. I get treated very, very well because of my skills and my discipline.
Okay.
So I decided to hang around LA for like a year or so. And I played in the local league to win a couple of championships in LA. And say, you know what, I'm coming back to Belize. And my mom said, you know what, son, not that Belize. So what, but my heart, Belize. I came and I called the minister at the time, Russell Chiste. He said, I have a scholarship for you to study, to get your doctorate degree in Cuba. So I told my mom about that. I said, man, I get a scholarship, a full-time scholarship to Cuba. And my mom said, no, you're not going to Cuba. Cuba, we're not friendly with the United States. And I, as a young boy, I was like 18 years old. I already got my associate degree at the time. Very smart, very book smart. I was balanced too because I played music. I played football. I played almost all instruments. I play a lot of instruments. That's what people don't know about me as well. I make music. I write music as well. So, I could cook. Well-rounded. And so I said, I tell my mom, all right then, I'm not going. So he said, why not join the military? I said, Mom, I'm not into that kind of thing now. I'm not into shooting people and killing people. And she said, you're still young, you're just a little boy, just try it. So she convinced me to join the military. That's the U.S. military, U.S. Army. Sorry. So I aced the test, whatever I do what I have to do. And I'm going to boot camp now for the Army. And I ran away from the Army. I did.
You what?
I ran away from the Army, and then they came and got me a week later. And but luckily I didn't go to boot camp. I was about to go to boot camp. And then this recruiter I met at the MEPS, when I was trying to check me in again, at this time I already signed the paper. And he talked to me about the Coast Guard. I said, why? I said, well, when he talked to me about the Coast Guard right away, I said, well, all right, I want to join the Coast Guard better then. So they transferred all my documents from the Army to the Coast Guard. And that was it, man. The story, it was written. I did my 21 years in the U.S. Coast Guard. I got one of the highest ranking officials. I did financial management. I did logistics, transportation. I did I was in Katrina. I did a whole lot of, my history is so long, it's very, very intense. I did a whole lot in my short lifespan. Travel the world. I traveled all continents already. So I've been around. Very quick. It happened very quick for me.
Yeah.
And from the moment I got to the United States, I said I never like it. I really never like it. So I said, you know what? Let me plan. Let me plan now. I say as soon as my year up, I'm coming home. I planned to come home, and I came home. I said, what else to do? And hey, I'm missing a lot. I was missing the camaraderie. I'm missing my people. I'm missing having to walk across the street or ride my bike. I miss being free. I miss all these things. I was consumed by working for the system. I wasn't the system because nobody knew what I was really doing because I wasn't someone that, was into the job. I did the job to the best of my ability. I was one of the best out there when it comes to the job, but I wasn't the job. And I said, you know what? Let me try my professional career in football and things of that nature. Another thing, so Garifuna go, my mom speaks Garifuna, I speak Garifuna very fluently. And I said, I got to do something. What's missing? Opportunities. What do you do with the opportunities? So to me, opportunities is not lacking in Belize. Because what you want to do, what do you really want to do? How do you get around doing that? You know, if we are a people that should be able to govern themselves. Some people get it twisted when they talk about governance, governing a people, governing an indigenous body, coexisting in a community where there's already the PUDP system. How do we do that? To me, it's quite simple, but for other people, it's not. They don't get it. Our people don't get it yet. When we grew up in a system where you're indoctrinated of yourself, everything has been stripped of you, you know, from your spirituality, your food, your whole identity have been stripped. Now, how do you regain that? It's not easy. For me, again, it's so simple for me because I was conscious from a very early age. It was just natural for me. But to part my knowledge and to encourage people and to motivate people about themselves, that is the challenge. That is the challenge. So you have to be patient. You have to be humble. You have to be able to get along with people because they don't see what you see.
You know what?
You have to understand that people don't see what you see, and that is key about life. So you would want people to get something. I said, man, hopefully people can't get this. It's not that because they can't get it, because it was never there. So you can't expect the unexpected. You have to quote in their mind. You have to show them 10 times the same thing when somebody else from outside of our race by coming and show them right away and say they get it. But for us, not believing and not trusting each other, it's the most difficult thing that you could ever try to regain this governance of our culture.
You know what?
Maintaining our culture.
You know what, Maurice? Man, listen. Listening to you speak, you and I have a lot in common, right? Because I myself was in the Navy. I went to every continent. I retired and said I was going to come back home and give back to the community. So you and I, we have a lot in common. And I didn't know this about you until you start speaking tonight. Right?
Yeah, you see, again, that's a part of not being the job. That's a part of not taking. You see, when I go to do a job, I focus on the job itself. My people and my work outside of the job is completely different. I use the job as a platform to be ahead of my people so that I could serve as a bridge. When that bridge is being built for our people, that people could walk over they should be able to walk over my bridge that I have gained, that I have built. You know, that's how our ancestors, that's what they have done, and that's what we're supposed to continue to do. You know, so I have a lot more to share about myself, but I reserve it because I want people to feel it. I want people to be like, how come this young guy, 39 years old, when I retired, 39 years old?
If I may, Maurice, to ask a question when you get a chance.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so I understand exactly what you're saying, right? About when you use the job as a platform to further whatever initiative or effort you have. Now, what the challenge is that not everybody can do what you can do. For example, if you should I posed a question to you and Charlie Marr the other day when I used the school teachers, and you could say police officers or any government workers, that they are in a position then where either they're afraid or they're just timid, they were whatever reason that they're afraid to use their platform to further the general effort or the collective effort of their people, contrary to what you were saying, that you can use your platform, but maybe then you would have to teach them, like, look, this is how you do it. Because how can if I'm a police officer, if I'm a school teacher, and each one of those persons could ask themselves the question, I am a police officer. How can I give back to my community, or not only my community, but how can I give back to my people? If I am a school teacher, how can I give back? Or if I'm a government administrator, how can I? Because most people, when they get this job, it's not what they can give back, it's what they can get. You see the back and front, right? Is that if you work at lands, if you work at any, it's always about them rather than giving back to my people. You are in this position. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you see, everybody's different. We're not born, we're programming a different, everyone have a different skill. I didn't know that one day I would be an activist. I consider myself an activist for Garifuna people. I never knew that. But I know I was programmed to be a leader, because everywhere I've been, from I was a little boy, I've been the leader. I'm the guy that they go to, and I have to accept that. From anything. When we went a farm or thief people probably, or thief their mango, or when we were pull up somebody boat, so we meant to go fishing. I remember all these things that it was yesterday, and it was dealing. When we go to school, who will talk to the principal or tell the principal a lie, because we have to survive. When we were fishing, same stuff there. When we have to go fishing, try catch and try sell them. They're kind of like 50 cents. Remember all these things. It comes natural. So when you talk about it, say for example, let's use the teachers and the police officers, right? Then police officers and law enforcement officers, but they have special skills within that.
Yeah.
They have their special skills that they need to pull on so that they could impart on their people and forget the things that they are doing within the job. So that's my advice to them. And you have to also know your rights within that. You're a teacher. A lot of these teachers, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to stand up for nothing because they fear their jobs. You understand?
Right.
That is the fear that they have. They fear reprisal. They fear that maybe they'll get transferred to the last place at PG.
Right.
You understand? So now I would encourage them to join the unions. Join your unions who can help you navigate your rights. So you could stand up as long as it's legal. You could stand up for yourself and your fellow teachers. So first they need to know their rights. They need to know how to exercise their rights. Like what's happening right now. I'm aware of a lot of things that's happening, but it's when and how you approach these things that will make a change. Because remember, we're not used to this. Our people are not used to it. Our people are used to just take click. And when one person go talk, or one person go demonstrate, they will let you want to demonstrate, you want to fight, you want to take the lead. So it will take a while to gather our people, but they get it understanding. So we might have to start gathering retired teachers, retired police officers, retired civil servants, retired fishermen, with all these people that are retired, so we could approach the young people so they could feel and see how they could benefit from all these type of activities.
Well, if I could say something, you want to say something, Francois?
Yeah, I have a quick question. So, Maurice, when did you know that you were going to do a radio station? When did you know that you were going to be an activist?
That's two-part question. I knew I was going to be an activist back in 2016. Back in 2016, when I came back home, and I was trying to do certain thing, and I believe that I was doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And our people, I was getting a lot of kickbacks. Like, I wanted to like transform the radio station, the Hamalali radio station. I wanted to transform the Hamalali, so I volunteered at the Hamalali radio station so that we could give our people Garifuna content. We could create Garifuna content. We have a lot of Garifuna content. And when I got there, there was a lot of pushback because, again, we have this thing called a inferiority complex, thinking that if we just put Garifuna content out there, we won't get support. That was a lie. I know for a fact that, yes, the radio station was being sponsored more or supported more by non-Garifuna because they know the business potential. They weren't worrying about your language or the way of life. They're worrying about the customers, the Garifuna consumers. Once they put Grace Kennedy up there, for instance, once they put Travelers up there, Travelers don't care if you talk Garifuna or not talk Garifuna. All they care about if you go in the stores and you buy their product.
That's
so
it.
the NGC at the time wasn't seeing that. I was stunned. Again, it's from my travels overseas. When you go to the Philippines, you are listening to what kind of music they have. When you go to Aruba or when you go to Panama, you are listening to Spanish music. You can't tell them to put on no other music but their music. You have to celebrate their music with them. So I said, you know what? One of these days, I might just do something about it. And the radio station started during COVID. You know what? During COVID, when I was on Facebook or YouTube, something like Facebook. Yeah, it was on Facebook. And I followed this link. This link came through and it said 75% off this complete radio station in Dominican Republic. So I was baffled by that price. So I told my father at the time, I said, Dad, man, I need to buy this radio station. I said, you crazy. I said, well, it's 75% off. It's so much and we could afford that. So I went back to the manufacturer. I said, yes, okay. He said, if you don't believe me, I will ship it down to you via DHL, right? And so I said, I'm not living in the United States at the time. I will send it. I called Rodney Nunes. I asked Rodney Nunes if I could ship, because I wasn't living in the United States. I said, Rodney, Rados, I could have them people ship this thing out to you and then send it by the truck for me, because then I have no way to bring it to store it in the United States. I could ask my mom and my sister, but me and Rodney, at the time, me and Rodney cool. He said, fine, no problem. And they ship it to him. He shipped it to me, and we tested the system. And it was only a 3-mile radius. You can only go to 3 mile and here I said, all right, good, man, this thing will work. So I went ahead and I finished paying the guy. And that's how we started, just by that. And to put that in now, and this, you see, my story always truthful and always on point. And I wanted to call this up as we're live on Garivision right now on Garifuna radio station, right? This thing came up one time when I have to say to cleanse the soul of the people, when they say, Rodney bought this radio station right here for me. No, that is a story. No, he did not. I shipped it for him to hold it for me until I was ready, and then he shipped it to me. So that was that. So I want to clarify again, people, the money we used was from my father and from my little savings that I had. We took the risk, and here we are now, 4 or 5 years later, Dyfa Garifuna radio station. And every year we try to expand our service. We try to expand. It costs a lot of money, but we expand. Every year we put 5 miles. Right now we're at 45. So imagine we are 45-mile radius at this time. So that's how Dyfa started.
So by Armenia, no? All the way around that area?
Say again?
No, I was saying that 45 miles was almost going toward Belmopan, right?
Yeah, they could reach the Belize city as well, but the difference is why that's the maximum radius. It's just like when you have a vehicle and say you could go to 160 miles an hour. You can't just go 160 miles an hour. Stay there. Mm-hmm. You lose control. You can't control that. So that's how the system works. And depend on the height as well. We need more height. So eventually we will want to transmit throughout the whole country.
So I want to ask a question, and Maurice.
Yeah,
so this is the question is, what do you think now? And I think this is a question I'm thinking, right? And what do you think about the possibility and what it would look like for this example, that just like we see when You got Belize, Guatemala, and Mexico entered into a contract, right? You know, when the countries do that, they contract, even though they might have a little hostility with each other, like Belize and Guatemala, right? So I'm saying that if Garivision and Sobel or Dyfa or whatever, whether they have something that, think about it, that Dyfa, Garivision, Dangriga Unmuted, Sobel or whatever, come together as a agreement, a true agreement, put it on, nationalize it, so the national government can see how serious we are about uniting ourselves, and we'll come up with one function where Dyfa follow, Garivision follow, Sobel follow, Dangriga Unmuted follow. Nobody no higher than nobody, no one no got no power. You're still independent. Dyfa is independent, Garivision independent, but they are united. Just like how California and all states are sovereign, but they are united under the federal. Do you see that possibility with us with our Garifuna situation?
Maurice, before
I want to answer that question. It is a possibility that could happen. However, the way how I see it happening is like this. We have our NGC. I put NGC, and you guys got many questions you want to ask me, right? NGC is not structured. It's going in. It's revitalizing. It's restructuring. It's going through a phase right now that of what people were expecting. They're going to be more transparent. Going to be more inclusive. It's doing all these things that people wanted it to be to happen in a while. So there is a communication, media and communication sector that already been established. But we're working through how are we going to have this? How are we going to make that media and communication functional? So if we have a Garifuna media and communication sector within the NGC as a branch, then we should all fall on beneath that. You know, I'm using the word beneath, in that we are still one, but we are Garifuna media houses that is governed by us. You know, like the media and communication is already there. All these different entities, so Bell, Unmuted, Garivision, Dyfa, will still have their function the same way they function, but you know, we will always need training on certain things. We also will need to share resources. We will share the council will come in and get grants that could elevate us to where we want to go. So that's one way I would see us united under one umbrella.
Right. But where are you, Francois? Go ahead.
You know what? I have invested a lot of money in Garivision Indigenous Network, and we have state-of-the-art equipment, state-of-the-art cameras, state-of-the-art broadcasting switches, and I said that when I started Garivision Indigenous Network, I wanted all of us to be under this network, everybody, you know, and it's not about me, it's about us, right? That's what I thought I was going to do, but trying to get everybody on board it's challenging, man. Trying to get everybody on board.
Right. Well, you know, the thing is why I mention it, right? Because when you start to unite with each other, it's a sign of, and the government know it's a sign of political power. That's basically what I'm saying, is that you're trying, it will benefit Dyfa, it will benefit Sobel, it would benefit Dangriga Unmuted, it would benefit Garivision if you come together to form a political cohesion. You get stronger. You are divided, you are weaker when Dyfa by itself, Dangriga Unmuted by itself. PUP, UDP could manipulate all five, but if you come together, it's more difficult. And then it's the role reverse, where the five group becomes stronger and have a more say.
Yeah, but you see,
So it's about political power that you are trying to get.
What we do, we all do what we do in a unique way. You know, we
Absolutely.
as Dyfa,
Absolutely.
we as Dyfa, we cover almost everything. Understand? We have our own strategy and way we're doing things. Uniting it's not just, you see, when I talk about your intentions of doing something, it's different than what we are already doing.
Yeah,
Because
you know,
everybody has an intention of doing something, but it's what are you doing? What are you doing that we could advance that or keep doing or discuss, keep doing what we're doing and so forth. But then we have, I'm still promoting the National Garifuna Council to be we are going to be the one that must strengthen that, because we are the one doing the job. We are the one on the ground. We are the one that are the professionals. They're going to be assisting us, facilitating us for us to better mobilize, maybe for us to better get more equipment.
Right. But
Equipment change all the time. Maybe
right.
for us to get
Maurice, let me give you one thing. What I think that's wrong with the National Garifuna Council right now, and you are the treasurer, and I'll ask you a question, and I could almost guarantee I know the answer to this, and I'll ask you to it. Right. One, if that first you need serious full-time workers. There are all these members of the National Garifuna Council on the board have full-time job. They can't be at two places at the same time. That's one, right? And yes, there are people who can work a 9 to 5 and still do our organization, but I'm saying in our condition, NGC need full-time workers, right? And the second part, I think, is that this is the second question. So far, if I ask you right now, and I know, or one of the members, that if you got the treasurer, the secretary, the president, as of this date, there's still no duty and responsibility spelled out for each person. I could pretty much, would you agree or confirm, or have you guys even reached that level of distributing duties and responsibility for each member? So without that, and that's when I was there.
We have that's been there. It's still been exercised. That's not the issue. We do have our responsibilities. We know our responsibilities. Our responsibilities already been designated. We know what we know that already. The problem is, I think that you're alluding to is now the council has to not the executive. The executive already have their responsibility. That's the problem with NGC. The problem with NGC is that we don't have individuals or organizations that would address situations within our community. Right now, we just have the typical treasurer, secretary, president, vice president. That's what we have. That's what I'm saying. Initially, I'm saying that we are reorganizing. It'll take some time to reorganize. We recognize that these are the issues, are major issues. So if you call for a situation right now, you won't get resolution, because there's nothing, absolutely nothing that is there to address our issues, and that's what I'm saying.
Okay, guys, listen. Before we get into NGC, because I said we were going to get into NGC in the second half of the show, but before we get into NGC, let's take a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk some more about Maurice Herrera.
Natural Sugarcane Energy Booster, available exclusively at Garivision Indigenous Network Studios, number 1 Rice Street in Dangriga. Phone or WhatsApp 613-6073, 613-6073. Niceness, it's good for the young and the old. No preservatives or additives, all natural. Niceness.
Yeah, Niceness is going to be available in Dangriga coming up shortly. But listen, Maurice, you know that I've been very critical of NGC for a long time, And I just want you guys to know at NGC, listen, not because I'm critical of you guys that I'm your enemy. No, I'm not your enemy. I'm critical of the National Garifuna Council because this organization is representing Garifuna people. I am Garifuna, right? And I want to see transparency. I want to see accountability, and I want to see what NGC is doing for me because I'm Garifuna and I'm a part of I'm a part of this community, and I want to see good for NGC. I want to see NGC do what they say that they're going to do, and that's why I'm critical. But I love Dangriga and I love my people, and I want to see NGC succeed.
Right. And if I could, and before Maurice, before you answer, let me just say something and I give it to you. But like you said, Francois, is that Maurice, is good that you've been in the Coast Guard for 20, 21 years. You know, you've seen what you live in America. You see what life is like in the United States and other countries that you visited. Now, farthest as I've been is the United States, and I see the night and day. The human, just the dignity of a human person, even though there are some exceptions in the United States, but that level of opportunity for people to try to seek better opportunity, America has that. Here in Belize, no, not even use Belize, we'll run it down, we'll bring it into the micro level, our Garifuna people, the school principal, look at Holy Ghost School, Sacred Heart School, Maurice. You know, you've been to school in America, man, at kindergarten. Look at our high school compared to just a kindergarten. Mentally, psychologically speaking, that stuff, those schools that look dark and gray, don't really send that high achievement spirit in children, I think. That's what I believe. Like I said, you, me, Garifuna, we need to break down these schools. We need to fight for our children so they can have a better future. This is like serious, and I think if we don't do anything, Maurice, guarantee it is only gonna get worse. History dictates it already. You know what I mean?
You know, I did out my schooling here. You know, I never went to a classroom in the United States. So this for me, I'm talking from my experience. This is the best education that I have. I never stepped in a classroom in the United States. I went from here when I finished college. So I didn't have that experience. All my kids came to school here, you know. So remember, if we want to teach our kids something, you don't need, I'm just being real. You don't need nothing fancy. It's the information, and I don't really believe too. When I've been indoctrinated as well, but I've become conscious. The system that I was brought up in, right here in Belize, you know, taught me certain things that I don't agree with. You understand? So now we know that become conscious, have to be patient. I know we want it, don't know, but we have to be patient because our people really don't know. You can't get hard by somebody who don't look.
Right, but I think that the timing too, that, right? Remember, you know, like, even if you're fighting or it's a war or whatever, you have to set a certain time. And right now, the way how we are looking at it, where even countries in the European countries are fighting for self-reliance and sovereignty because they feel that they're being invaded by immigration in UK and in Australia. Most people now, these are European people, are claiming for their culture and identity to be preserved, even though they are not indigenous to the land, but they still believe that they have a natural right to defend their history and their tradition, right, for their future generation. We are in the same situation, but however, we are not trained. Again, that's where we need to be trained to appreciate who we are as a people, be proud of who we are as a people, and always, I'm telling this, Francois, Dyfa, and anybody, there's never once in history, if you gain your freedom today, where the government will not try to come and take it again. So you should always, Israel taught me this, the Jews, they said, always be alert so that they will never again happen again. So even if we get our freedom, our true freedom, we should always guard it because somebody will come try and take it.
Well, so, you see, I agree. I agree with you, right? But that's why I'm so patient. That's why I'm sitting here. I see these things, but again, if our people don't have a feeling, you have to have if you go to war, you need to have that purpose. You know, just going there because like what happened to me, paid me for kill somebody. I don't have no feeling for that. But once we sensitize our people, and people like they say, they start loving themselves, start believing in themselves. But that's not happening right now. It takes some time. So we need to continue to spread the information. We continue to share it in a way where people will get it. Because they're indoctrinated. Our people are indoctrinated, it's highly indoctrinated. You know, even I mean, we could listen and we talk about it all the time, the churches, the schools, you know. It's nothing, it has nothing to do with us. Everything will look this way, but our hearts are different. So we that are conscious want it done now. Understand that we need to get it done now. But majority of our people don't get it yet. You know, don't get it yet. They will get it.
But Maurice, so what do you see NGC accomplishing right now?
Well, I think what they're accomplishing right now on the past 2 months so far, right now we have, I won't call it accomplishment yet, but we have submitted the MOU that's been in existence, and also have made changes, modifying it with information that was shared at the convention. All that was while I was inputted, so nothing was taken away. It was more added, and the direction that we're taking in getting that signed into law instead of just having an MOU. Anybody could block that MOU. I don't say the government can't block the law, because they block the law every single day. But it's more stronger when it's into law. So it should be, it's already approved. Now it's going into cabinet. That's the next step. Yeah. Once cabinet deliberate and debate over it, if they have to debate, then it will be law. That is the strategy that we take it. If that doesn't work, because we can't trust the government, of course. You know, we have to really believe in ourselves and fight for our people. Then we'll take the next step. We have more steps that we, even if you look, I cannot share it right now, but if you look at the ILO 169 that always been mentioned, that is a part of it as well. So everything that is that we discussed, everything that was mentioned at the convention and more, is in that document. So that's one. I think that's one thing that I think that we've been accomplishing so far in a short space of time. The other thing that we have accomplished is we're visiting. We're visiting all of our communities. We got one more. We have Libertad. We're going this Saturday to Libertad. That has never been done before. People say, "What are NGC? What are FISA NGC?" When we're finished with that now, then from all the issues and all the information that we have gathered, we will activate these committees. So we'll come to the community. We'll have community meetings. Mm-hmm. We'll come to the communities for ideas, and even communities will be members of these committees that will be established. We have them listed already. We have the Lands Committee. We have Human Rights Committee. We have Agriculture. We have a whole list of committees that will need to be established. We have them listed, and we need whatever is affecting our communities. We need to form committees like one of the viewers just mentioned.
After that's a question, and Francois, if you don't have one, Maurice, you ready for another question?
Actually, I have a couple of questions.
Okay, go ahead then, Francois.
I know that a lot of people are dissatisfied with NGC, and they are afraid of voicing their opinion. There's a comment here from Carlos Martinez. It says NGC needs to come with transparency, that they could gain the trust of the people, and quit asking people, "Are you a member?" before you even talk. Off the top, that needs to be stopped. Each one, teach one. Nothing hurts to hear criticism. Nothing. And you know what?
I agree with that. I agree with everything you just said. But again, Carlos, please give us a chance. This will all come to pass. We know he's right. Like, I will not dispute whatever everything he said. That's true. It will become intimidating to even talk. Intimidating to even voice your opinion. So that is right. That is true. And he's saying, but this new executive, no, we don't function that way. We will, like I said, we'll finish our tour and we'll come right back to this. Even these communities that we're visiting our people. We are training. We will train our executive at each branch how to function, how to govern, how to reach our people, how to get that relationship with your people. Instead of just running to the national, we want to mirror each other so that we could work for the benefit of our people, work for our people, get our people involved. That is the direction that we want to take.
I remember I asked you recently, how can we get the president of NGC to come and talk with us on Garivision? Is that even possible?
That is possible. I mean, if you need an interview with the president, yes, that is possible. That's not a problem.
Who is the president of the branch in Dangriga? Is it still Marsha?
Yes, it's Marsha Mejia, yes.
Okay.
But while we're here too, Francois, I'm looking at, let's just try to, because you see, I like that people commented, and I like that, whatever goes bad or ugly, is this a comment in any which way? I would like to address as many of them as possible.
Okay.
Yeah. So I could ask a question then, Maurice, with respect to land, right? And it's actually going to be a twofold question that the revised memorandum of understanding, I would hope, which I don't know, that all these unoccupied or uninhabited, there's land in a Dangriga where bushy, right? Really bush. Nobody know they live there.
Yeah.
Under the memorandum of understanding, couldn't it be possible that the National Garifuna Council assume ownership or trust of any uninhabited, unoccupied land in Dangriga or what is known as Carib Reserve? That's the first question, and if that was possible. And the second question is that since the National Garifuna Council do have land under its ownership, how does a member, if a member have some type of ambition, agricultural ambition, want to grow some veggies or maybe want to grow some cassava, how can a member qualify to the use of land? And if it is yes, how does that member go about accessing and getting permission to use that land?
All right, good question. Remember, I tell you. So that's why I know I mentioned these committees have to be formed for us to all as a collective to make those decisions. I cannot say something and make up something and tell you something and this happened, no, because I can tell you, nothing hasn't been stood up yet. You understand?
Right.
So it will be stood up and then you could be a part, anybody that is interested to be a part and lead the way forward,
right.
Because that is the change that I'm talking about. It's not NGC coming on and dictate to people, oh, I use this, I get it. No. That is it. So that's not, the committees have to be formed to make those decisions, to make those approach, to make those, to get our land up. I agree with what you wish to do because it's Garifuna land, but I can't make that decision by myself. You can't make that decision by yourself. So it's a collective, and that's the direction that this new executive. I'm so proud to be a part of this new executive because they listen. They know I want to be a part of an organization that is not for the people. And if I find out it's not, I'm very vocal. They know I'm a very vocal person when it comes to people.
Guys, I don't want to sound critical, right? But NGC has been in existence for over 40 years. What happened to all the funds that the organization raised? What happened to all the grants? What happened? I don't see anything tangible in the community that we can say, you know what, man, great job, NGC. You provided economic development for Dangriga, for the people. You did this for the town. I really don't see anything tangible that we can say.
Okay. There is, right? There is, and again, all these things hurt me. I feel for it, right? That there is, but that was in the past. That was in the past. That's why I'm so passionate about this this new executive. I could list a few, but they didn't do due diligence and justice so people could see what they were doing. So it hurts me for them to have done that. Like, for instance, let me give you an example. One, you want to hear one? One of them, clear, something clear. The Cassava project. Cassava project was $150,000 project, whereby the house was built, all equipment inside, machinery. It was mechanized.
Where is it?
It's still there.
Where is
it's
it?
still there.
Where is it?
Well, I'm answering the questions. Give me a break. Let me answer a question. So I'm just giving you one. There's many, but I'm just letting you know that these things were not publicized, and I agree with that. It was wrong. But you're saying that they didn't do anything. I'm just pointing out one that I know that they did. And they have a lot more, but I'm telling you this one in particular, where the cassava house was built, all the equipment was purchased. The fields were bulldozed. It were harrowed. It was prepared. It was planted. It was harvested. They were selling. They were distributing. All of the operation was happening. So I will leave it at that for that. I'm just pointing out one because I wasn't involved with that, right? But at the end of it, when on the collapse of it, when the funding, because let people understand, right? In any grant funding, it was a grant funding project. And this is what I like about Grant CDM. They were telling they got $150,000, right? And then with that $150,000, that's why it's good to communicate with the people so people not try think otherwise. A lot of these projects, they were consultation, all right? $50,000 to consultation. That's bogus. You might want to get a Garifuna consultant. We might not even charge that amount if we work together. Then you might have for equipment another $50,000. Then have for the house, a building, a structure. That's $150,000 done down. But if you communicate this to your people and get your people involved, then people wouldn't have these assumptions. So I'm gonna leave it at that. That's what I know. You understand?
Maurice, and you're right. Exactly, and that's why I keep saying it over and over that if the members of the National Garifuna Council were thinking of a small pocket, automatic people outside will assume, even though they're innocent,
Exactly.
And I truly believe, like, I'll give you for example. You got Ifasina, you got Marsha. I don't think they get into no crime, and they get no Garifuna woman no bro crime, really, right? These are law-abiding citizens. But I'm saying that because it's a legal entity and it's connected to political corrupt people, they start bringing my sisters, my Marsha, my Ifasina, and corrupted mess, so where they have to meddle with them because they can't do nothing about it. So that's my position. I believe that we women are innocent, but they're in a situation where they're like, some prostitution want to get out of prostitute but can't because the pimp got their luck. And this is my position. And I think, one more thing, I'm just saying that me and you as men, like Malcolm X said, man, we have to protect our women. So I believe that our women are being taken advantage of, Maurice, right? And I think that we as men, we need to do something and make our Garifuna women be recognized and be respected. Our Garifuna women and my women at the bottom, man, and our women contribute so much.
Listen,
right? That's my take on it,
Listen,
I don't know if I answer the question, Francois, but that's my knowledge. That's how we plan to move forward, by acknowledging what happened in the past. So we don't repeat those that's happened. We don't repeat it because a year from now you come back and say, "Why I had this conversation that if I said this, I know what I said and it's recorded." You know what I mean? I'm saying we're moving forward with this new executive, with the information that we had. We don't want to repeat that. No, we want to do different.
Yeah, listen, I know a lot of people in Dangriga say that I'm too harsh, right? But let me say this. Our house has been on fire for a long time. NGC has been in existence for over 40 years, and our house has been on fire for a very long time. And we can't sit around and let our house blaze in bigger flames. It's time to put the fire out now. You understand?
Yeah, but you said the fire been, like you said, the fire been burning for a long time, right? Now, if you want, as Garifuna people, it's one of the things on our last show that we discussed, right? And this is one major change I want to see all the media house too.
Mm-hmm.
When, and yeah, you have constructive criticism. That is fine. I like to be criticized so I can do better. But when it comes to our people, right? When it comes to our people are sensitive, our people, and if you're not sensitive towards our people, feelings as well, you know, it will become self-destructive. You have to listen to our people. You know, if the house is on fire, then if you put more gasoline on it, it still on fire. It goes both ways. I'm saying, we recognize all this. That's why I get myself involved. I have other things to do. I'm a busy person. I'm hardly home. I'm thinking about things to better our community every single day. But if I'm seeing the NGC needs the help, the expertise that I have, the little that I know, and they have a very good foundation that we could build on, then I might as well join and see what I could do. But to sit from the outside and just criticize, like I said, you could criticize and not do nothing, or criticize and do something.
Well,
I'm still critical of NGC.
Yeah,
because why? Because of the history. But I am going to do what I do to help my people.
Maurice, that's the reason why. That's the exact reason why I retired from the United States and moved to Dangriga, because I wanted not to. Because people will always say, you're always critical of NGC. Come be a part. You know what? I moved back home to be a part of the change. Right? I moved back home to be a part of the change. I may be harsh because I'm passionate. You know, we all have our own. We all have our own strategies. I'm passionate and I'm harsh, but within this harshness, there's real love for my people, man. So I moved home. Just like you, Maurice, because you want to give back to the community. And that's the reason why I moved back home, because I want to see Dangriga prosper. I want to see a better Dangriga, you know?
Yeah.
And if I could throw in another one, Maurice, this is what I observe here in Dangriga, right? For example, whether I agree or disagree with whatever Melvin Diego, we know that that's a passionate young man. He wants to do something. He's always trying to do something to contribute into the community. You know me personally, Francois know me personally. I am somebody who is trying to contribute into the community. You have Urwe, who have his Dangriga unmuted. Clearly, he wants to contribute to the community. I am saying that the National Garifuna Council, right, when you guys were doing your meeting, that we need members, we need this, and I'm saying that right in front of the National Garifuna. You see me, I'm here. I'm saying, hey, I'm here. I want to work too. I want to contribute. Melvin said, why you guys don't reach out? You know, because I try to reach out, and I'm saying,
I think that you're going in circles, because like I mentioned, we just set up. You have committees for this, whatever expertise that you have. You might not fit in one committee or the other, but we don't know everything. We get our information from the community. So if there's something that needs to be addressed, there's people that needs to be put in place to address whatever situation it might be, then that has to happen. Right. So by you saying, by you highlighting these individuals and yourself doing things in the community, right now, like I said, this executive will come around that. Will come around that, because then, remember, this is a national level. The local level will be trained up. This revolution right now, like I said, it's been 40 years of pain, 40 years of lies, 40 years of non-transparency, 40 years of that. We cannot, there's no way we could fix that within a couple of weeks. Right now, like I said, I hear you. We are going to address all these issues. We're going to prioritize what we need to do, and we're going to move forward as a collective.
Yeah, you know what? Let me read a comment here by Warrior Carib. It says we need immediate intervention for jobs, supermarkets, daycare centers, fisheries corporation, bakery. we are at the mercy of other people and community that feed us and clothe us. For example,
Sure.
the Chinese and Mennonite community taking over the social economic of Dangriga, and this has been going on for quite some time. But listen,
But you
Maurice,
see,
Maurice, I know you said
again, Francois, with this statement
Hold
from Francois from the Warren Carib, we know this guy. This happening. We remember, we were the ones that we had all these businesses in. We were established as Garifuna. Garifuna men own and women own shops and stores and transportations from here to Belize City and wherever we wanted to travel in them. We what kind of intervention we need? We need to organize ourselves. This intervention, we need a plane too. We need a skyscraper too. We could list all what we need.
And Maurice, listen to this, right? Okay, so the NGC building is always closed, right? No one's never in there. So when can we have somebody in the office 24 or 7 days a week, 5 days a week? Because whenever we go to the office, it's always
that will happen, Francois, right now.
Okay.
I could give you an update on the building. The building right now is built. We're going on a I'm gonna spill it, but there'll be a fundraising drive coming up very, very soon, within a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. And with the funds, we will be because it has a serious electrical problem right now. The roof is leaking, and we will renovate. We'll renovate the building and make it accessible to people. So that is on the agenda as well. We hear that, and here we are again. And I list all these things down now, and I'm dead serious. I'm behind a lot of these things within the NGC because, like myself, I'm here every day. I say when to go on. I hear I want to go on by the street. I want to address that. I want to be a fool enough to go on NGC. And I will tell them what the people they say. We have to do what the people they say because we deserve it. If you say you deserve the people, then you got to do what the people wants to do. And you have to let that building open, renovate that building, and keep it open. Not only that, you have plans for that building. You could have gift shop in that building. You could have meeting area in that building. You could have maybe cookouts on the week. So there's a lot of plans, but we need to hear this from the people. But like I said, give us a chance. I hear that, and I'm with you with that.
Well, man, I'm trying to be as patient as possible. I'm trying to be as patient as possible, Maurice. And
I'll tell you, Francois. Well, I'll tell you guys I share with Francois my position on patience. Patience is not even a word, Maurice, because like I said again, I look at the reality of our situation that the point is, the fact is, we are long overdue and there's no reason for us to be patient. I don't see no justification because if for example, why should you, Maurice, you got your truck parked front of your house, right? I find your key and I take your vehicle and I drive it. And I live on the north side. I used to bring my vehicle and I say, wait, man, just be patient. It's your vehicle. You will be patient for your one vehicle because it's yours. That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is that what we are asking for, we're not asking for anything that is not ours. We're asking for exactly nothing less, nothing more what we're entitled to.
All right, let me answer that. If you want to take that route, then if you take my vehicle and then you don't got no license for my vehicle, brother, you never take you don't know for drive. This is my vehicle because you just want to pick up something for it. You don't got insurance on my vehicle. I have to plan. I have to make sure that I plan that you safe and I safe. So the same way, so that's why we need patience. We just can't go into something because we want it. No? You understand? So
I'm talking about possession, meaning that if I have your vehicle, your truck, it's your vehicle, right? You know your vehicle parked, but I just take it without your permission, without your consent. And now you're asking me for it, and I'm telling you, hold on, I will bring it back Wednesday. Wednesday come, no. I say, okay, Friday come, no. Then next week, Monday. And I tell you, be patient.
In a situation there, you know, I get my truck. That's a call the police.
I'm saying, well, the question is, how long you are wait? 1 month, 2 months for your own vehicle? How long would you rather wait?
Oh, no, I mean, that's different, man. That's different than driving a people. Driving a vehicle.
We're talking about property. It could be your house, a car, your money, any property. How long would you wait for your own property?
Well,
you know, wait no time for my vehicle, my property.
All right. Listen.
All right.
Maurice, listen. I know that you're not to blame, right? I have to commend you for speaking up, but I know you are not to blame.
That's right.
But
You say,
but there's a lot of work that needs to be done.
No,
And you can't tell me, you can't tell people to be patient now because it has been way too long, and I know. And again, like I said, I know you are not to blame. We can't beat you up for what happened with NGC in the past, right? But we have to commend you for speaking up, right? So now.
You see, Francois, I don't remember. We to get paid for this. So even if it will beat me up, I'm a very again patient individual. I'm a very crafty individual. You understand? I'm born with that skill. So I could answer. But if I'm knowledgeable about something, I'm confident of it. So when we talk about Garifuna and NGC at the forefront, the people in there now, I could. The one before, I don't know, but I could tell her right now. This is no style tactics, because we didn't know. If we knew, just like all the people didn't know the govern, then this thing may have done in our week. It's not. This has nothing to do with no style tactics. It's have to do with organizing ourselves. Now, if we go ahead and do something right now without our people consent, we are doing the same thing what the others been doing in the past. If I go and I just go sign this and sign that, or just it will go to the same thing that the ones in the past have done. So that's why we need the patience, because we want to get the people involved. And the people, we need to regain the trust of the people. People don't trust NGC. Clearly, they don't trust NGC. So we have to coordinate people. We have to deal with the people so that we get the job done. I know everybody want to get done now. I want it to get done now too. So then what else I want to do? If the job get done right now, I don't else.
And I know there's a very big issue right now with land that the minister is giving away land in Carib Reserve, and they're de-reserving Carib Reserve. How is that even possible for them to de-reserve Carib Reserve? They can't. It should be illegal to de-reserve reservation. The land that was reserved.
I will agree with you. I will agree with you on that. When it comes to land, right, this is a big topic. It's a very, very big topic. And most of our land, even including Carib Reserve, there's a scheme. There's a scheme for all of our land already, because our people, again, has been embedded with the politicians. So that is another whole thing we have to unravel. When you go and try to get your land or land title or whatever it is, they will have you both like they don't know where to go, and they don't know that one minister don't want your land or your minister don't want to have that land to cronies. And this started from when we have politics, our people, our tutor, our pencil involved with politics and these administration and these civil servants. Why you think that? Look. Why you think that? They got certain families and a Garifuna families will own hundreds of acres within, or tens and hundreds of acres within Carib Reserve, because those people supposed to be holding these lands for distribution, but how will they do not? They take it for themselves, or they sell it, or they get in cahoots with the elected officials, and then here we are now. We're heading now to try to figure it out how we put this thing together. When it might be too late.
Dyfa, may I say something, right? You see, Francois, again, Dyfa, for all these years, right? Whenever you see land grab in Dangriga, or particularly what we call Carib Reserve, somebody, again, I mention it again, somebody, which is called the National Garifuna Council, claim that they will protect those land rights. For example, that when you hear, let's say Gulisi have that, all that land by Gulisi is, is National Garifuna land, right? Now, let's say you hear some China, they make some type of agreement with the Minister of Land. I want to sell off that land by the Gulisi Monument site. NGC would be up in arms and try to gather people to stand up and protest for that one. But they wouldn't do it for something on Melinda or Pelican. Why only this one? It's the same. But I'm just saying that they're supposed to fight naturally to protect Garifuna land all the time.
Again, yes, I have to agree with you that this won't take long enough. Trust me, it won't take long. We are on top of it. And I will be the first one to say, yeah, where to go on. Because they already had a mapping of this place for Garifuna land already. That's already been established. And that's Carib Reserve. Whether the D Reserve, I ain't into that D Reserve thing. We're not there with them. I'm not there with them. That's Garifuna land. We don't care how you want to call it D Reserve. And I said it in our meeting. And I'll be the first one using our platform, our calling out.
That's right.
Because I now be a part of something that is not for the people. So I'm very passionate about this. So this is not a game. So whatever you mentioned about Carib Reserve, my brother, give us a chance, and you will be part of it too. Anybody who want Garifuna will be part of it because we want the money. Or please remember, when we explain the scheme that our own people, this is something serious. So let's not to play with. Our own people don't split up, don't they sell out in a Carib Reserve. Our own people.
Yeah, but Maurice, listen.
So this is not no game. This is our serious thing.
Listen, it's never too late. It's never too late to fight for indigenous land. Never too late. But
so I know they say. You say we can't be that extreme,
No,
we can't be that. We can't be that
talking about physical fight, Amari. We're not physical, but I'm saying that.
I know what you say. I have to say about the statutes of limitation and things like this. I understand it. No, but again, how can we get these things back if we don't unify? If you don't got no patience to make we unify our people, how can we get this back? Just to talk and talk and talk.
I think we can work. Like I said, I believe I can. I'm a very patient person for what deserve patience. Right? I don't care less with my patient. I could talk to anybody on the street and I might not have patience for that person. I'm saying that I don't have patience to wait for what's mine, and that's my right. But again, I work with other people. Right?
We will get it back.
All right, guys, listen. We're gonna take a musical break, and let me show you how much I love Dangriga. I put these clips together of Dangriga that I want to share with our viewers that this is how much I love Dangriga. So if you guys want to walk away for about 3 minutes, we'll take a 3-minute musical break. Let's go into it.
Oh yeah.
All right, welcome back. Before we continue, I have a comment from Melissa Rock, and she says, "Who gave the politicians the right to use their name, position, and signature to sign off on land applications submitted if they are not Garifuna?"
The people did that. Everything when Minister has done, people get the power to do that. The people did that.
Well, man, you know what?
Melissa, but the thing is, the way how that happened, right? That happened with a slick hand, you know. Because remember, right? Think about it. Before even before Belize got its independence, let's go back to 1940, 1950. Garifuna couldn't even vote yet, right? There was no POP UDP in Dangriga in the 1950s, or before the 1950s, because POP got established 1951, right? So when politics entered into Dangriga, that's when I see, how I can use my mind and dissect how we got where we are, right? Is because we were divided early into politics. No, because Maurice, if I could ask you and Francois, right, if you can remember what was, well, even though you grew up in America, but if you could remember anything about election in the early 80s, how because it wasn't necessarily pay for vote, right? It wasn't, they were paying you to, today is a culture. You follow me? So just use your imagination and go back all the way back in time, right? As far as you can go from the maybe 50s and the 60s, and you can try to put the puzzle pieces together and see how we got where we are today. Can you elaborate the thing you can see that? Anyone, Maurice, Francois, anyone, right? I'm talking about what Maurice just alluded to with the politics. The land, when we're talking about land and politics, and I'm giving you the history of why we are where we are.
Can you rephrase the question again?
All right. Maurice was talking about the land issue, right? And when with the question that Melissa Rock asked about how they get the consent and all this, and I said it was an underhand movement, when how the Garifuna people got deceived when they enter into politics, because now that instead of we having for example, a president of the National Garifuna Council represented us, they deceive us and have a POP named Louis Zabane represent us or a UDP represent us. That's where the deception came. So the consent came by way of POP and UDP. That's how we sell our land. That's why that Louis Zab can sign up. But what we can do is that's what I'm saying, we should denounce or not give up our consent to any land, to anything from politicians. Then we give them no power because we give them the consent to our voting power. That is the vote. We said that we want a representative and we go vote and we sign and he become an official representative of the entire Stann Creek district. I mean, not entire Stann Creek South, right? Dangriga, Saraway, and Hope Creek. So that's where the delusion, the trickery came in. When they say, you don't want the one people representing, how we are find somebody has a politician here? Because Garifuna people made it look good until they send one politician from central government who would deceive their care of. Make we start see how we could get someone in land and thing, man, and maybe disrupt the vibrant economic system. I don't know. I'm just saying those are just what I think in the past. You guys want to share on that? Melissa asked the question. Back to you guys.
And Maurice said you got to blame the people, right? And in a way, when you sell your vote, this is what happens, right? Because if you're going to sell your vote for $50, the politician have all the right to do what he's doing now, because you're the one who put him in there. Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, we vote him in, but that's the trickery. That's what I'm saying. It's a trick that the politics play to say that we can represent you better than your own kind. Like I did tell you, Maurice, I could raise your kids better than you, and you say, okay, then and you sign the name and I raise your kids and you pay me. But when you give me $1,000 a month and I only use 200 out there to take care of your picnic. That's the game the politician is playing with us.
Yes, but what you mean by your own time? You have a Your own time. What you mean?
But all time?
Your own time. You say represent your own time. What do you mean?
Right, I'm saying that, okay, look, if you go anywhere in the world, if you go in a Chinese community, there's a Chinese leader. If you go in a Hispanic community, there's a Hispanic community.
Let me break down that one there. I have to disagree with you on that one there.
Yeah, but hold on. I know where you're going, but give me a minute, right? I'm just giving you an example. I'm saying that, I'm answering your question for this one, that what I'm saying is that the Garifuna is a unique people, a community by itself, right? And we had for example, our tradition. We have a system as the chief. We have a chief. Each chief in the community. How we have our governance institution. What I'm telling you is that the British government, the Belize central government, came and tell the Garifuna people to trade. We will govern you, and you don't have to govern yourself. Now I'm saying you that what the UNDRIP and the ILO is telling you that, look, the British, they deceive you. You guys supposed to represent yourself. You're supposed to be self-reliant. But I'm saying that today, the Garifuna people refuse to even accept their own self-reliance. They don't want it. They're comfortable with the mistreatment, with the discrimination that they get from the deceptive politicians.
Yeah,
I think you answer yourself because my understanding was a little bit different when you're talking about when you mention about govern ourselves for your own kind. You understand that? Because remember that's a different political that's a political system as its own that we accept. So I follow what you're saying.
Okay.
All right. So
okay, I see.
yeah, but I have a few more minutes, guys. I have another show here.
Yeah, well, actually, we're about to wrap up too. But let me read one comment here from Gary Global. It says, "Unfair voting practices can only exist under poor Garifuna leadership." And you know what? And on that note, listen, let's go into our Garifuna word of the day. And Maurice, if you want to log off, you can. But I want to say thank you for really taking the time to come and talk with us, man. I really do appreciate you. And like I said, I know you're not to blame, but I'm glad you came because we have a lot of work to do, and you're not to blame. We can't really blame you for what happened 40 years ago, right?
Right.
But I really appreciate you for coming here and explaining to us, right? I really do.
Right. Likewise, too, Francois. I want to thank you too. Man, Maurice. I appreciate it very much, man. And it show a good respect at least then to at least appear and answer, even though you might be uncomfortable. Maybe you don't want to ask the question. I just like the fact that you at least agree and you came and you did it. You know what I mean? And I think it's a good thing. I congratulate you and I respect that about you. So much respect and thank you again. And I much love at the same time as a Garifuna man.
Yeah, I'm glad to have been on the show tonight and to try to explain what I know from a vantage point that I have now. Moving forward, I could see from the comments, reading out the comments, that people are really fed up. People are really
very much
angry. People are very much frustrated. That's all. That's I'll remain calm. I'll remain focused on the work ahead because this is bigger than me. It's bigger than any one person. This is the time. It's the time for us to come together. We talk about it all the time, but we got to do it now. There's no shame. There is no shame about it. There's also our personal pride and do what we need to do to spread the word. Always remember that this struggle wasn't caused by one person. We wouldn't have to be addressing this situation. Something that happened. So we have to unravel what happened, tackle it.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll tackle it together and make it better for people. So maybe one day we will have a show. So you know what? I I know what to talk about with you. Why you say what you do? You say I don't work. I said why? Or it's alone foolishness. But at least we try. And that's what we want. We want to make that simple. We want to walk and talk at the same time. We don't want to talk. Right? So with that, guys, thanks for having me on the show again. It's been a pleasure.
All right, man. Yeah, we'll stay in touch and we'll talk some more. All right. Well, so thanks.
Are you?
All right. Denzel, Amadi, no. You can stay logged in.
I'm here.
Yeah. We'll continue the show. But
I'm playing that. You want the front right there?
Yeah, but after all the talking, and I chose a Garifuna word today. It's going to be harsh. I know some people are going to criticize me for using this word, but with all that's going on right now, let's go into our Garifuna word for the day. And the Garifuna word for the day is Nederugo. That's the Garifuna word for the day is Nederugo, because it means oh shit or damn or gee whiz or what the hell, Nederugo. That's what it means. Because listen, man, it's time that we say Nederugo, because golly, man, we have been under a spell for 40 plus years, man, and it's time. It's time now, people. It's time now. Bill said he's the man equal time. Everybody, okay. Carlos, it's a listen, brothers. Talking done. No man. It's time for us to take over all of our different activities for economic growth. Man, Carlos, listen. When I moved back home, I said I was gonna produce this niceness juice, right? It's a non-preservative energy drink that I created, man, and I said I was gonna bring it to Dangriga and provide economic growth, provide some employment for some people in Dangriga, and I brought the Garivision Indigenous Network Studio to Dangriga as well. And my plan is to train young minds to fly drone, to operate professional broadcasting cameras, to operate professional broadcasting switches, and to do news and sports and music. This has been my goal for a very long time. So I'm glad that I moved back to Dangriga, and I'm glad that I know a lot more about Maurice Herrera after his speech tonight. I'm glad he came to the show, because there's a lot about him that I didn't know that I'm glad I know now. Good say Bill said he loved the word of the day. Okay, let's go back to the word of the day then. Oh, Ned, there we go. You know, this morning when I woke up and I said, you know what, I'm gonna do this show today, and I said, oh, Ned, there we go.
Yeah, with that, you know, Francois, that word, the Bunda could use that word right now.
I'm bet Joseph Bunda is using that word right now. I bet he said, oh, Ned, there we go. The Belize government will leave me here like this. Yeah, but
he could use that word.
Yeah, but anyways, listen, we appreciate Maurice Herrera coming to the show. We really do, seriously, on a serious note. And we said earlier, we know we can't blame him for what happened, but we need transparency, we need accountability, and we need an open house. Almost everybody I speak with in Dangriga, they speak badly about the National Garifuna Council. So I'm not the only one.
Right.
But listen, let's if we can fix it, then let's fix it. Right? Because we are all Garinagu, and we want to see betterment for Dangriga, want to see betterment for our community. So if we can fix it, then let's take the initiative and fix it. I know it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of work. And listen, our ancestors were resilient people, man. They were resilient people. Our ancestors had resilient minds, right? They had resilient minds. And we are resilient, man. We were exiled, we were left to die, and we came back. You know, we speak our language, we have our spirituality. We are resilient people. So listen, let's fix what needs to be fixed. But Amadi, you want to close out the show?
Yeah, Francois. All right. Well, thank you guys again. We're a good show. Again, we get a nice comments in the section. You guys interacted with us. We appreciate that. We like the comments. Maybe I could call out, let me see some of the names. Like I said, Bill Guerrero, Emilio. We have who else? All the guys who comment. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for your comment. I'll check them out right now and we go over some of the comments just to hear what you guys were saying. I appreciate it. Again, we're back again next week, Tuesday, with a Culture Meets Conversation. Well, this Saturday is at Melissa Rock at the corner. Tuesdays and Thursdays, Francois and I look forward to seeing you guys again. Thanks again for showing up. Much love and respect.
And you know what? The Healthy Corner is going to be on pause for a minute. The Healthy Corner is going to be on pause for a minute. Melissa is still mourning the death of her dad, so let's give her some time to get us to get her mind back on track. So the Healthy Corner is going to be on pause for a minute, but this book, there's a comment. He wants to know where he can get this book. This book is available on Amazon, and it's under Dr. Charles A. Castillo, The Resilient Mind. Listen, man, it's a great book. It's a great book. I've always been a fan of self-help books, and I'm glad that we have one that's written by a Garifuna. But this is a great read. This is a really great read. Anyways, Bill, Gary Glover, I have a question. What did Maurice accomplish during his presidency of the NGC? Well, Bill, the man gone right now, so he can't answer that. So, but anyways, we appreciate all your comments. Bill Guerrero Flores, Ivan Ciego, Emilio Rod, Gary Globo, Eric Castillo, Evan Hill, Carlos Martinez, Warrior Carey, Bryson Poetry, Melissa Rock, Rose Augustine, Bill Guerrero Flores, Charlie Marr. We appreciate each and every one of you. We really do appreciate you guys. Archangel Saab, Anthony Garcia, Eddie Lopez Fennel, Capital Entertainment, Iris Brenda, Cole Arzu, Ernie Arzu, Steve Benedict, Paul Pastor, Jason Guerrero, Clyde Gillette, Don Lopez, Ivan Ciego, Michael Flores. We really do appreciate you. Yeah, and to all the viewers from Dyfa, we really do appreciate you guys as well. Listen, we have a lot of work to do.
Right. If I could say one last thing before I go, Francois.
Yeah, go ahead.
I sent a friend request to the guy that were commenting last week, Peter Collins, right?
Yeah.
Because he mentioned that he paid his subscription and dues to the National Garifuna Council. I'm just trying to find out if he watched the show, if he's watching the show or he watched the show, when he do watch the show, if he can reach out to me or somebody of the member to, we want to find out who he paid the money to and or which branch or whatever it is, if he did. And if he didn't, do you pay your dues, my brother? Much love. Thank you.
All right. So until next Thursday, we will say ayo and peace and blessings and
ayo.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for watching Gary Vision Indigenous Network, where we said that we were going to change the way we look at Garifuna to entertain, to educate, to empower, and to enlighten you, our viewers. So, Sereme Wayanho, thank you so much for tuning in. Melissa in the control room, take it away.
Ayo.
Yeah, you know what? I forgot to say thank you to our engineer because without her behind the controls, the show wouldn't have been a success. So thank you, Melissa, for controlling the show. Thank you for what you do.
Millennium 2000 is upon us. Still we sit around with a fuss. Arise, indigenous people. Sarawama, Garinagu, Sarawama. Sarawama, Lidag, Yewenedu. Sarawama, Garinagu, Sarawama. Chilud, Hada, Niduheyo. The time is now, Garinagu. Sarawama, Garinagu, Sarawama. Wake up, Garinagu, Sarawama. Sarawama.